1:36, new world record.
You move on the B of the bang. You're just going to be listening out for the guns. The whole thing in your mind is get to that top speed and relax and maintain and allow them to come back, because that's actually what happens. You don't go get them, they actually come back to you. By the time I get out after the semi-finals, I may have maybe an hour and a half left. I'll go out there, get a massage, and I'll walk around for a little bit, and still, I'll be looking to see what others are doing. It's not that, you just watch what kind of warm-up they do, because obviously there's still things I believe that I can go out there and learn. And, Ron will be there, of course, and we'll sit down and talk about things. What do you think, I need to do, and things like that. Then by that time, nerves are killing you, believe it. And you just get there, you try and, not to think about it too much, but it's just something that it's inevitable. You got to think about it. And you run the race through your mind, loads of times, and always you'll end up being a winner. My warm-up is different than most people, because most of them, they're jogging and then a long period of stretching. Well, I don't really stretch. I stretch as I run. So I'll usually run a couple of laps and then start my running and stretching a little bit. And about 45 minutes before, I put my spikes on and do some very fast sprinting in order to wake the muscles up and let them know you're getting ready to run fast. The whole idea of warm-up, it's got to be to conserve energy. You've got to get your muscles working efficiently, but at the same time, you've got to conserve a lot of energy. And that's what I choose to do. It's too late to do anything really strenuous, because if you've got to work really hard, by that time it's too late. So I just go through the motions. It's irrelevant to me what other people do, to be honest. I remember in '91 in Tokyo, when Leroy and I, we drove to the stadium together and talked together and laughed and everything. But when we arrived at the stadium, he went to one side of the field and I went to the other, because there was nothing else to talk about. We had to take care of business. I think the waiting around is a long time, because they get you out on the track and you'll be there for quite a long time. Well, it seems quite a long time, 10, 15 minutes or so. And while I'm there, I'll be looking, people, they'll try their blocks out and everything else like that, and I'll be looking to see, where the danger is going to be coming from, and, what people are doing from the blocks, because from that I can gain my own gameplay, my own confidence. And if I see someone come out the blocks, I think, well, yes, maybe he's danger, maybe not, maybe I can, he's not the worry, and I look at things like that.
You get clues in that?
Oh, yeah, definitely. You see, I'm always learning, and that's the secret of my success. For me, that's a calm period, because at that point I feel very confident. That's when I always feel the most confident, when I'm getting into the block. Basically, I want to make sure that I'm relaxed and don't forget anything that I have to focus on before I start. Well, the sooner I get down there, I think the better for me, because I like to get down and, move around. You've got to be like in the perfect position, really feel, comfortable. And obviously, Carl will be the last person down. I think that's part of showmanship. You see, sometimes you stand there and they'll go around and they'll shake your hands and stuff like that, because what they're trying to do is trying to tell you, I'm the guy, I'll see you at the line later, mate, or something like that. So I tend to stand in front of them so they can't shake my hand or stand behind. And I just, once I take my gloves off, I look straight down the track, 101 meters, as far, and I'm not looking at them, and if they dare to shake my hand, then I just give them a little growl, because I'm not into that. The start is the situation that puts you in a good running position. It sets up the entire race. The only thing that's in your mind at the time is, your reaction and what you're going to do from the gun. And at the same time, your heart is. That's when your heart starts to give you a lot of jip. Yeah. And your legs start to wobble sometimes, They get really nervous and it shakes. And you move on the B of the bang. You don't, if you wait for the whole, ANG, you're left.
You move on the B of the bang.
Yeah, you've got to move on. It's something that, I've learned. I mean, Colin taught me that. Because I used to wait for the whole bang. He says, no, you've got to move on the B of the bang.
All I need to do is just keep my focus, drive out of the blocks, come all the way up, and just continue to accelerate. You go back and look at a lot of the races. Even in Tokyo, I was back in the pack at 30 meters. It's just that the thing that people have to realize is you can run the race really basically three ways. You can leave the blocks, accelerate, and keep it smooth the whole way, or you can sell the end of the race at the beginning and just blast out of the blocks, which a lot of them die. It isn't my finish, it's just they're selling themselves at the beginning. Or you can accelerate slowly and then continue to try to be stronger at the end. Well, the best way to be your strongest at the end is to accelerate properly out of the blocks. And if you sell yourself short, of course you're going to be out front, but you're going to die. That's as simple as that.
By 30, that's when I start, to wind up. I expect to be ahead of Carl then. You run from the hip, you go really high, and if you're 6'3", you end up being like 7'3". You've got to be like less contact on the ground, and you got to, drive and pump the arms and use your legs as much as possible.
Since I'm accelerating more smoothly, I will hit my top speed later in the races in many cases than others. Everybody can only hold full speed about 10 meters. So therefore, if you hit full speed at 40, you're from 50 to the finish, you're decelerating. There's nothing you can do. But if you're accelerating and you hit full speed at 60 and you go from 60 to 70, you only have to decelerate the last 30 meters. So it's a big difference, and that's what we try to do, make the entire race smoother. The whole thing in your mind is get to that top speed and relax and maintain and allow them to come back, because that's actually what happens. You don't go get them, they actually come back to you.
If I see guys there in front of me, I can always change gear. I've got an extra gear, that's waiting, because then I can...
In the last 15?
Yeah, in the last 15 I can put in, big spurts. I can increase my cadence and, extend my stride much. That's something that I've worked on over the years, and if I see someone there, I can put a few quick ones in, extend, go past.
You run to top speed and then you relax. You run relaxed. You have to maintain. It's a similar situation, I guess, or a parallel would be to look at a car that shifts in the fifth gear. That car doesn't lose power. It maintains the power, but it does it at an easier pace. So when you shift in the fifth, that's basically the maintenance pace period of your sprint. And most people try to get to that finish line, but you can't get there. You have to let it come back.
You just run 100 meters. You're on such a big buzz that you just go around. And when you hit the 200-meter mark, your calves start tied up, and you realize, thank God, I just run 100 and I've got, so you're hoping in a way that there's someone in the crowd who wants to sign autographs, so you can stop for a little breather there, because you don't want your opposition to know that you're tired. Regardless, you always want them to think that you've beaten them comfortably.
First thing is knowing you've run a great race. That's just like anyone, that they know they did a great job at work or whatever. And then the next thing is looking at your performance to see what that great race translated to. And when it's a record, obviously, it makes it that much sweeter. It is calm and relaxed and mechanical. I mean, in the past and into many others, it is very emotional. You can see the differences in different people. You look at a Leroy or myself, and we normally stay very focused and very calm. Then you look at someone like Dennis, who's very animated. That's just different philosophies to try to achieve the same goal. But for us, it's very calm and very relaxed. There's a lot of focus and attention in the 100 meters, so you have to be ready to run the race well. Every great race you run, you need to put in your memory bank in order to try to duplicate that.
I think it will be, a very long time before they find someone like me, because, I think it's a God-given gift. I was born to run, and, I'm glad the day I changed my mind and applied myself to it.
That's how they do it.